Good morning, everyone. Today's live is about website legals, why they're so important. I get a lot of questions in the process of drafting my agreements, and generally I'm drafting, business terms and conditions and policies and contracts. Quite often when I do the due diligence around a business, I find that website legals are actually missing from a client's website, and so begins the conversation about what are they doing to manage and protect their website and to let clients know what they really need to be doing in order to interact with their website and the content within it. So there are a couple of main reasons. Basically, if you have a business, you have a website. That's generally a given. And on your website, you have quite a lot of original content usually, because your website developer may have set up the framework, but the content is populated by you. So your graphics, your copy, your ideas, your quizzes, your blogs, they're all your original content. So these are the things that you need to consider protecting in your website. The main concerns that you need to look at, or the important reasons why you need to have website legals, I'll cover in a minute. But I just want to clear up what website legals really mean. So when you have a website, there's a range of activities that occur on your website. Website legals I'm referring to are the basic terms of use of your website and the privacy policy. There are other documentation that is required depending on the different transactions that occur on your website. So with the website terms of use, that is a basic requirement, as is the privacy policy. It is a document that informs and educates visitors of all kinds to your website, whether they are potential clients, whether they're going to buy something from you, whether they're going to just use your website for information, or whether through your website they're going to book an appointment. This is information that is for everybody who lands on your website for whatever reason. So that's the terms of use. The second thing that is part of the website legals is the privacy policy. So in this space, which is the solopreneur space and the small business space, in fact, most businesses now, there are generally ways to sign up to things on your website. So the website on your behalf is requesting information from people visiting your website. So it's usually for marketing purposes, or it could be for payment purposes. It could be to determine your situation in order to give you some type of advice. So you are collecting private information, and because of that you need to have a privacy policy. So the two key basic documents for your website is your website terms of use and your privacy policy. So now moving to the reasons why a website policy, so the terms of use and a privacy policy is important. Well, firstly, anytime you have a document straight up, it's really to prevent abuse of any process. So the document, such as a website terms of use, is designed to educate your client on how to use the website, how to interact with it, so that they use it the best possible way, and that there is any attempts at abuse are minimized and managed. And so it really protects you in a proactive way. The second thing that's really important in considering why it's so important to have website legals and terms of use is protecting your content. So generally on your website, you will have your beautifully created and often quite expensive logo. Your copy has been written especially for you. Your images have been sourced for you, and quite often they are original images or photos that you've paid for to have taken. And your blog content and your information, your quizzes, all these things that appear on your website are original content and your IP. So you need to have your website terms of use in order to educate your clients around the fact that this IP is protected and owned by you. So a very important reason why you need to have website terms of use in place. The third reason I would say would be to the ability to manage the account. So a lot of websites, may have a basic registration process, or so if someone is using your website constantly, you want to be able to remove them from using the website and provide the reasons why. This is simply an educational process as well about your clients and how it is, the reasons why you would in fact delete someone's account from your website and stop them from using it if they don't comply with the behavior required of them when interacting with your website. And the other big reason is to limit your liability. So websites and the internet and the online space can be quite erratic. So sometimes there can be outages, there can be times when your website is down, there can be times when you have been hacked, there can be a myriad of problems that happen with your website. So you need to limit your liability about any damage caused should any of these events happen. Because if a business is relying on your website working and it goes down and they lose any business or any money or suffer any damage or loss, your website terms of use limits that liability and disclaims, your responsibility in the sense that you are not responsible for any of these external events that may affect the use of your website. And the fifth reason is something that's quite overlooked. Hi, Nicole. Thank you for popping in. The fifth reason, of course, is jurisdiction. We are all operating global businesses. In fact, even myself, I draft documents for people who are offshore. Now, if the business around jurisdiction, or the issue with jurisdiction, is you need to be able to state where you want any issues to be managed should they occur. If you don't do this, then quite unfortunately, it exposes you to being sued or being asking to have that issue managed in any other jurisdiction where your website may appear, and that could be quite stressful and quite expensive for you. So jurisdiction is something that is quite often not considered by business owners who have websites, and really needs to be. I haven't talked much about privacy policy in this live, but essentially, and I covered it briefly, a privacy policy is a separate document in itself, and it is read in conjunction with the terms of use. And the privacy policy will cover the initial or the types of information that you're collecting via your website, and will inform people how that is managed and under what circumstances is that information released or stored, etc. So I will talk about privacy policies in another live at a later date. In the comments, I have put a website checklist, which includes a checklist for website terms of use and privacy policy. So that is something that may interest you, and it will help you to work out it'll show you that you do need a terms of use and a privacy policy. And secondly, it will help you to work out what information you need to get together in order to have one drafted. And thirdly, if you already have a website policy that you've taken from a template, it will help you quality assure that particular template that you've used. So that's it for today. Thank you very much. And if you have any questions, pop them into the comments or message me. I'm happy to help. Have a beautiful day. Bye.